This episode of Dan 3.0 is brought to you by Squarespace. Ahlan alam.
Super special thanks to YouTube username Current Gypsy for teaching me how to say hey world in Arabic.
It is Monday morning. I have had my coffee. I'm ready to take on the day. I'm ready to take on the week. I had a pretty productive weekend, and if you would like to hear about it, I would like to tell you about it. You guys want me to volunteer regularly. This is something that we established about a month ago, so I reached out to an organization here in San Francisco called One Brick and volunteered with them a while back, pulling weeds at the park. And while volunteering at the park, I got into a conversation with the director of the San Francisco branch of One Brick. His name's Rich, and I explained to him what Dan 3.0 was, that you guys wanted me to volunteer regularly, and he said, well, if you're going to be volunteering regularly, it might make sense for you to become a One Brick manager, a slightly more official part of the organization, someone who actually runs the volunteering events that are going on. And at the time I said, yeah, that sounds like a great idea, but it's not up to me, it's up to my audience, so in the next episode I told you guys the situation, let you guys vote on it, and you said, yeah, go for it, be a One Brick manager. And then life just kind of generally got crazy between trying to get settled here in a new city and my grandpa dying and going back to Nebraska for a week. But finally, last Friday, I got around to emailing Rich back, and he responded right away saying that there was a One Brick event going on Saturday and then manager training going on Sunday. So my weekend has been very One Bricky. On Saturday, I volunteered with One Brick at the opening ceremonies for San Francisco's Little League Baseball. Now, Little League Baseball is going to be a big deal in any major U.S. city that you go to. But bear in mind that San Francisco is home to the reigning Major League Baseball world champions, the San Francisco Giants. So there were a lot of kids and a lot of parents and a lot of hot dogs and hamburgers to be served. And I suppose that I should declare myself a Giants fan now that I live here. I mean, traditionally I've always been a Detroit Tigers, Cleveland Indians, and Chicago Cubs fan, so adding another National League team kind of balances it out. Also, liking a team that's kind of good, that also balances things a little bit. Anyway, volunteering. I showed up, and the first assignment I was given was simply to check other volunteers in as they showed up, make sure they got a name tag, felt welcomed, knew where to go, knew where they could put their stuff. I was also in charge of watching the stuff, making sure that nobody stole anything. And then things were pretty chill for 45 minutes. We just kind of hung out as everyone filed into the event. We just kind of hung out as the parade and opening ceremonies went on, but once the opening ceremonies were done, then it was lunchtime and playtime, and that's when things got exciting. The bulk of One Brick volunteers, I think, were helping to serve food, but I was actually put in charge, well, not in charge, I was just helping out with the bouncy castle. I basically just helped make sure that kids were continuing to move through, that things didn't get too congested, that they were being safe, that kids weren't like bonking heads and dying, and nobody died or got seriously injured. I think that only 2 kids were crying as they left the bouncy castle, so that's a success in my book. And then we stayed till the end of the event. We walked around with garbage bags and picked up all the little bits of garbage that tend to manifest themselves when large groups of people assemble. We had a little powwow at the end. They thanked us all for coming out, and that was it. Next time I need to remember sunscreen. That's a lesson I learned. I didn't put on any sunscreen, and it was a sunny day, and I got a little bit pink in the face afterwards, but overall it was great. I had a wonderful time. It was a wonderful way to give back to the community, and just a great way to start the weekend. So then the next day, Sunday, last night, I had manager training where we began the process of training to be managers. Crazy how that works. It wasn't as exciting as Saturday. There were no bouncy castles, but they did serve Chinese food. I believe there were 6 of us, 6 people who wanted to eventually be One Brick managers who showed up, and what they did is they gave us the detailed history of One Brick as an organization. They told us what the responsibilities of managers are, walked us through what the next steps would be, and I'm not going to bore you with all the nitty-gritty details, but basically for me to become a manager, I need to shadow 3 managers at 3 different One Brick events. And once I've done that, if the managers sign off that I did a good job, then I will be a manager myself. How exciting. I'm pretty excited. I'm excited about working with One Brick, and One Brick is excited about working with me and working with us. I'm pretty sure that I have a sizable handful of viewers here in the Bay Area. I mean, you did vote for me to live here, after all, and I'm assuming that at least some of those votes came from other people who live here. And so what I'm kind of thinking, and what One Brick is kind of thinking, and what hopefully you guys are kind of thinking, is that some of you guys might want to come out to some One Brick events. If you go to onebrick.org, there's a calendar right there on the front page of all sorts of different volunteering events that are going on. Check them out, see if anything looks like it's up your alley, RSVP, and then show up and do some good in your community. As soon as I know which events I'm going to be at, I'll let you guys know, and you can try to RSVP for the same ones. But don't limit yourself to that. If you want to get involved, I would encourage you to just jump on in and get involved, get a feel for what One Brick is all about, and if we happen to be at the same event, then we happen to be at the same event. I obviously don't know where this is going to go at this point, but I really do think that there's some cool potential here. Oh, and I should also mention, One Brick is not just in the San Francisco area. They have, I think, 8, 9 branches across the country. So if you want to help out, but you're not in the Bay Area, check out onebrick.org and just see if there's anything going on close to where you happen to be. But okay, that's enough One Brick for this episode. There are a couple of things I want to remind you about before I go. Next week, I am headed to Florida for Playlist Live, but before Playlist, I'm going to be hanging out with the folks from Film Riot, another show here on Revision 3, and we're going to be collaborating to complete a task to make a short film. Now, we are accepting script submissions from you guys for that short film, so if you like writing for that sort of thing, we're just looking for 3 or 4 pages. Send it in an email to dan3.0@gmail.com. We will then pick our favorite and hopefully turn it into a totally rad short film. The other thing I want to let you know about before I go is, remember how like a month and a half ago I, in one episode, said that I had gone to a shoot for another Revision 3 show called Scam School? Well, those episodes of Scam School have since been released, and they're live now. You can watch them. There are links to them in the doobly-doo. Check them out. The premise of the show is, well, it's hosted by Brian Brushwood. He's a magician, and he teaches you how to do cool little tricks that can win you free drinks at the bar, if you're of age, which I am not yet, but I did drink a Pepsi while I was there. It was very delicious, tasty. Anywho, that's it. I'm gonna go. It's a sponsor time. Goodbye. Today's episode of Dan 3.0 has been made possible by Squarespace. Squarespace offers an easy, flexible solution for anyone looking to build a blog or a portfolio or just any kind of website. Squarespace offers every single user 24/7 customer support. They just pushed a brand new social widget for geolocation services. That means that on your Squarespace page you can have a live Google map showing your recent check-ins from Foursquare, Facebook Places, Gowalla. It's pretty friggin' cool. Many of the internet's highest trafficked web pages are powered by Squarespace, not to mention the personal pages of a lot of Revision 3 hosts and personalities. You can check out squarespace.com/pogobat to get a 2-week free trial and to learn some more. Once again, a super huge thank you to Squarespace. Anywho, that just about does it for me for today. Thank you oh so very much for watching this episode of Dan 3.0. I hope you'll tune in again on Wednesday.